The following podcast is a presentation of Project Entertainment Network.
This is Drew Stepek from Godless.com. Welcome to Necrocasticon.
Hey there all you beautiful motherfuckers. I'm Charlotte, and this is volume 666 chapter 52 of the Necrocasticon, where we blend horror and heavy metal for your pleasure, and ours. We only have one guest this week, Drew Stepek, extreme horror author, and the website entrepreneur behind Godless, every horror author's favorite little place to sell books right now. Drew is a fucking rock star, and it's appropriate we close out our 6th season with him. So sit back and listen to him give Tom shit for not jumping on board with Godless sooner. Oh, and this will be my last time introducing the show. I've taken a better paying position elsewhere. But don't worry, I might show back up on occasion for a joke or two. Here's Tom, Scott, Walter, Uncle Skip, Dan and their special guest, Drew Stepek. And one last thing, I love you all. Except you. And you know who you are, you fucker. But to the rest of you, cheers.
This is Drew Stepek from Godless.com. You are listening to Necrocasticon.
You said it wrong.
I know I did. I did that last time too.
We are nasty.
Okay,
He called it what Tiff calls it.
okay, here we go. This is Drew Stepek from Godless.com. Welcome to Necrocasticon.
Perfect.
Fuck
Drew.
yes.
That works.
Thank you so much, Drew, man.
Thanks,
Great
Sean.
to talk to
All
you.
right, brother. We'll talk to you soon.
You guys hear me?
Yes, we can.
We
Drew,
got
how you doing, man?
Now we're-
Pretty good. I just want to make sure this mic has been like fucking piece of shit lately.
Show me what you got. Show me what you're made of.
Master Control, how are you?
I'm fine. I'm fine, Tom. Thank you. Skip.
Thank you, God. Thank you,
You
God.
disappoint me.
I'm never gonna stop touching myself.
Who is your user?
I use myself.
Do you like
Inappropriate.
popcorn?
All the time.
Like popcorn? You listen to me, Jesus. This is Jerry's house. We're very close.
Kent, this is God. Stop playing with yourself.
Welcome to volume 666, chapter 52 of the Necrocasticon. The last chapter of
Last
volume
one of the
666.
season, man.
Season
finale, baby.
Season finale.
Which one of us will die tonight?
Season finale. With us tonight is a very special guest. He's kind of godless. Let's put it to you that way. He's been on the show before, and tonight he's going to be our only guest. The whole show is going to be this motherfucker, okay? Why? Because he's got a lot to talk about, and that's why. It's Drew Stepek. He is the author of Knuckle Suffer, and he is the guy behind Godless, which is making all of us fucking horror writers happy as a pig in shit right now.
That's a great opening track off of Danzig 3, by the way. Godless.
That's a great fucking song, man.
Oh, absolutely. I ask all of you who join me to this feast, may we be strong in mind and body. And then Glenn
Shut
does
up,
his-
Glenn.
You know, Danzig's almost beaten me up twice.
Wow.
Almost.
How?
He's like 4 foot
Almost.
tall.
Oh,
He got reach.
Did you take a picture at his show? Or did you put the camera on your phone or something?
No, I'll lay this down for you. When I first moved to LA, I worked for this magazine called Film Threat, which is Chris Gore's magazine.
Oh, yeah.
So I worked.
Oh, okay. I know Film Threat. I know Film.
Yeah.
They've been around a long
I know
time.
Chris Gore, yeah.
Yeah, I worked for Film Threat, which was part of what do you call it, Larry Flint. So my first job in LA was working for Larry Flint, R.I.P. And I went to Comic-Con that first year, and I had developed a kind of like character for myself in Film Threat. You know, that it was just, I would say all this obnoxious shit, and it was called Drew Speak. And I was in one of the articles, I wrote this thing about how Rob Zombie was a total ripoff of Al Jorgensen.
Yep.
And
Because he is.
so
Because he is,
Yeah.
yeah.
And so I was talking with Danzig at Comic-Con in 1994, I think. And I was sharing Film Threat with him, and he was like into it and stuff. And he read that shit about Rob Zombie. He's like, that's my friend, man. I ought to fucking beat your ass. So I just.
Did he say that with like a half smile on his face too? Because it seems like when Glenn's mad, he has to smile.
No, he was fucking pissed, dude.
Oh,
And,
wow.
I said, I'm sorry, man. It's a joke that I do in this magazine. Second time, I was at a Lords of Acid show.
Wow, I know them.
Yeah, me too.
About let's say 2 years later, maybe 1 year later, and a friend of mine, who I went to the show with, who I was living with at the time, was like over by Danzig and stuff. And my friend accidentally spilled his beer on Danzig. And I think Danzig's sober. And Danzig got fucked up pissed. And he was like, I'm going to fucking kick your ass. I just got this leather jacket. Oh, I got something to say.
I got this jacket today.
And you poured your beer on it, and I'm gonna kick your ass.
And now you're dead.
Sorry, I got beer on your fucking pleather ass jacket, bro. But that's my experience. That's my experience, Danzig. And then when I saw that video that had went viral like several years ago, that guy just fucking pounding him, man. I'm like,
yep. My wife's taller than Glenn.
Most people are
Everybody,
taller.
so we're your twins, dude.
Well, no, she met him and got a picture with him. I don't know where the picture is. This is years ago, though. She put her arm. She goes, "Oh, you're so cute," and she put her arm like. And he just looked at her like, "What the fuck?"
Yeah, I think Gary Coleman was taller than Danzig, dude.
Well, your German Shepherd's taller than Danzig. Okay.
Yeah, Erie Vaughn's family lives in my town, and apparently they all can't stand Glenn. So
Hervé Villachez was taller than Danzig.
Our new median for a good or a bad movie on this show now is it better than Verotic?
Mm-hmm.
Nothing's better than Verotic, dude. Verotic is special in many ways. Yes. They are good ways, but they're ways.
Yeah.
Who's ready for Danzig's vampire western?
No, fuck that.
Well,
you enjoy it. I'm not bothering.
I'm gonna watch it.
Because of his vampire western, I stopped writing my Doc Holliday's a vampire western and threw it away.
Thanks, Danzig.
Fucking Danzig. Why? Because I made Big Nose Kate I made her into Elizabeth Bathory. And who's he got in this fucking movie? Elizabeth Bathory. Fuck you, Danzig.
Mm-hmm.
Well, you'll never have as good of hair plugs as Danzig, Tommy. So
I don't need them. I like being bald.
Or steroids, but
yeah. I love that. The best part of that movie, Brain Candy, not to go off on a total tangent here,
Are we talking about the Kids in the Hall movie?
Kids in the Hall movie.
God, I love that movie.
Yeah.
What was the fucking Danzig type character?
Oh God, Grievo.
Yes.
It's dark.
He had that lame mesh shirt on, and he came out like on stage like he was like,
He had the fucking chops and everything.
yeah, it was fucking great. What was that guy's name?
Heroin. No, not heroin. I wrote a new song. It's at the park.
Happiness and sunbeams and cute little puppies.
Little puppy dogs. These are the things that I see with my heart.
Yeah, Bruce McCullough, man. That guy is a big fucking star.
Yeah,
He is
he did
so
the cabbage for a head guy.
cabbage heads.
I hate to talk
This
shop
is a drug
here,
that gives worms to ex-girlfriends.
I hate to be the
That was-
blueberry to get us to talk shop here, but we got to talk shop for a little bit at least.
Yeah, we do. But
We just derailed everything. Sorry, Drew.
Tommy, we
fine, it's
really
good.
had a good bullshit session going, and
We
you got
had
to
a
come
great
in
one. I had to be
with
the
your,
moderator. I know.
I'm the captain of this ship.
I think
Let's
Danzig
get
already
it
fucked
righted.
this conversation up anyway on his own.
You let me and Mike there, and just basically do whatever we wanted last time. Why can't we do whatever we want now?
Yeah, but Drew has a big giant endeavor that he's part of right now. I learned about it back earlier in the year, and I wasn't sure about it at first because when you're a writer you get a whole bunch of fucking offers from idiots, and I knew Drew was an idiot, So I at least went and I made an account and stuff like that, but then I didn't know what to do from that. And then I saw everybody else was getting involved. I said, okay, yeah, this is a thing. It's this thing called Godless. And basically from what I understand, and Drew, you can correct me after I'm done ranting here. It's basically Drew's way of saying, fuck you, Amazon. Because they really, guys, when I sell a book on Amazon, I get Jeff Bezos pays for another special effect on fucking The Expanse. All right? Pretty much. And I don't sell a lot of books, as you know, because I'm a new guy. So, yeah, the little pennies that I make, Jeff Bezos takes a whole bunch of them. And if it's not Jeff Bezos, it's Barnes & Noble. If it's not them, it's Lulu. If it's not them, what's the other one that you got to pay $50 just to have your proof done on, Drew?
Kobo?
Kobo and Ingram.
Ingram, yeah, like fucking lightning source, dude. When I was first got my first book published, and then the original hardback and Knuckle Supper, my publisher was doing stuff through LSI, which is Ingram and Lightning Source, and man, they fucking jam you. But at the time, the thing is that they were the only. Ingram was the only distribution kind of platform that was actually expanding the full reach of Ingram. So, my books got in like Barnes & Noble and got on Amazon and stuff. And in 2006, that was a big fucking deal, man. And so, you kind of had to roll with the punches on them. But fuck, did they charge us to shit load?
They still do.
I heard it was like $2,500 for your first set of books. And it's only like 50 books.
Yeah, I think that sounds about right. When I went over to Bloodbound in 2012, we did the second edition of Knuckle Supper in paperback, and we still did it through LSI, and it was just fucked up, dude. I think that's why a lot of people are gravitating towards like this kind of like Amazon print on demand, kind of thing, and it makes sense, for like a lot of young authors. But you don't really read the fine print.
We still get fucked because even on a digital book. Now, a digital book, for example, where Amazon has no overhead except they're storing the digital version of that fucking book, which is little tiny megabytes.
Yep.
I'm charging $4 for a fucking book, and I'm making $1 off that sale.
Is that true?
That's how it is on Amazon.
Yep, that's how it is. Yep.
Yeah, I mean, I would always let Bloodbound deal with that shit. So I just like took my quarterly, and I'm like, fine, whatever, man. I never really expecting much. I mean, Knuckle Supper's got a pretty decent name, and it makes some decent money. It's got a following, but it's like, I wasn't really depending on it as much as getting into doing my own thing around this and kind of rethinking the paradigm with this. It's kind of like, shouldn't this really be about giving authors and indie publishers, which, by the way, indie publishers aren't these fucking fat cats who take money from people and sit on their mountains of money. They might as well be self-published authors. They share like the same struggles as we all do, and I get that. So I wanted to create something where they get the most percentage of their royalties possible. And like I've told several people, I do kind of feel bad about even taking 10%, but I mean, it's like, this is a lot of fucking work, man. And I totally bit off more than I could chew. I just kind of figured that I was going to start doing this thing. I got the idea in late December. I announced it on the Splatter Club and a couple other places in early January, and then I fucking pushed it out on March 15th. So that was a fuckload of work, man. And so I kind of don't feel bad about it at this point, because it's like, I'm giving them way more than anyone else is going to be willing to give them. I'm fucking promoting the shit out of these authors who, deserve the audience that they're getting on my site. You know what I mean? So they're doing great things for me, and I'm going to do great things for them. I'm
finding myself sharing your stuff as much as I share mine. And I think that's good. One hand washes the other, because you've got an exposure that a lot of us don't have, and a lot of the other authors that go there have exposures that none of us have.
Yeah.
So I think it all balances out in the long run.
Yeah, I think that people have to. One thing that you just said, Tommy, that's really important is it's important that people understand that what they're going to get out of Godless is what they put into it, right?
Yep.
This isn't going to be an all Drew all the time one man show. And I get that. Even though I'm a total promo whore and I can fucking pound shit out and I know how to fucking manipulate social media and stuff like that, you got to put stuff into it. But the more important point of it is that the indie horror community as a whole and as a family is a way louder fucking voice than someone going out on their own. So if you jump on Godless, you're going to get support from all these guys. Like I just announced on Facebook right now, Kevin Sweeney is coming exclusively to the platform now. And you know, that's a lot of people don't know who Kevin Sweeney is. He's a fucking great author and he writes this really, really vile shit. But you know, the more and more people who finally kind of understand what this platform is now, and they're really jumping in, and they're like, oh shit, I get it now. I understand what this is. You know, I launched that first Godless weekly video today, and it's like people are like, okay, now I fucking understand what Drew was struggling to fucking try and explain to all of us, right? It's like this is an amplification engine beyond the distribution. The distribution's obviously the most important part. Giving the authors and the publishers the royalties they fucking deserve is just as important. But coming together as a family, amplifying everyone in the family, and really bringing the horror community together is super fucking important, man.
Yes, it is. And you know what? I got to say this. You're doing a lot better than... I'm not slamming on the Slasher app right now, guys. But you're doing a lot better than the Slasher app because... Quite honestly, all I get when I go over there is a crashed goddamn app and people want me to buy their podcast.
I personally, I just got on Slasher Sunday, and I dig it. I talk with Damon, and hopefully we'll be able to do some cross promotion work and get that rolling because I think they'd be a good partner. You know, they really fit into kind of the mindset of what Godless is, and I'm sure he understands it. And I'm sure he's been around for like a year and a half now, right? I mean, but
a little longer because I met Damon a couple of years ago at the last Scares That Care.
Mm-hmm.
So it's going on 2 years.
Oh, so 2 years. I mean, he's up against it too, right? You know, he's launching someone that people probably didn't think they needed. You know, it's like it's an itch that I think needed to be scratched with Godless, and a lot of authors and publishers don't understand what the itch is, right? So you really got to like coddle everyone and kind of like say, this is why I'm doing this, without over explaining it, and really kind of push them towards taking hold of their fucking IP, dude, and really breaking away from what Amazon's doing to them. And dude, there's no doubt about it. I doubt that without the convenience and the ease of how Amazon does things and their print-on-demand service and their digital service and their distribution, that a lot of these authors probably never would have even thought about writing or publishing. And that's the good part about what they've done. Right. But I mean, you can also say that like, oh, okay, you know, Stephanie Meyer's gotten teenage girls to read, you know, but you know what I mean? That's a good thing. But her books fucking blow, so who fucking cares?
You know what? I'm glad her books suck because her readers that do like it and want to read something better end up going on to either reading more romance, no disrespect to romance, read all that, or they go to reading horror.
Yeah. No, dude, that was kind of the original mindset when I wrote Knuckle Supper. It's like right during that huge resurgence of these like really weak vampire books. And I wanted to write something really hard. And I think I told you this last time I spoke to you. It's like these kids who were reading Twilight at the time, it's like eventually they're going to want to fucking graduate to something else. It's like if 5 years ago you were listening to like One Direction, maybe you've moved on to like the Sex Pistols or Johnny Thunders by now, right? You know what I mean? It's like it's a gateway into reading. And eventually you're going to want to go further and find real fucking shit, dude. You know, you're going to eventually pick up a fucking Ray Garton book. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
Yeah. Yeah, Ray Garton's a master.
He's a boss, dude.
Yeah. Ravenous? Holy shit.
Yeah.
Live girls?
Yeah,
what can you say, man? You know, I remember I was sad when, well, it was bittersweet when Leisure crashed because on one token, A, you weren't getting the books anymore. And B, holy shit, they were marked down at all the discount stores.
They're in the Dollar General, for Christ's sake.
They were. And I was picking up Ed Lee, Brian Keene,
Wrath.
Yeah.
Ray, buying them. Holy shit, I can buy 6 books for $10 right now? Hell yeah. And just eating that shit up in a weekend.
Yeah, well,
But you know what was bad about that, Tommy? Is that I would go into the stores and I would see these books, and knowing the people I know and you knowing the people you know they're not going to get the money.
Well, here's the thing.
And
This is me going into this at a period where I wasn't knowledgeable of this.
Yeah. And I'll tell you what, I would take pictures and I would send them to the authors.
Yeah.
And they would say, rip the head off the baby.
Yeah, tear the cover off of it.
Yep.
Mm-hmm.
So.
Yeah, I mean, that's like the most unfortunate part about it, right? That whole Leisure thing was such a huge disaster. And, you know, but I mean, at the end of the day,
the small press. It led to the creation of the small press.
Yeah, but I mean, you got to think that, like, as far as the big authors like the Ed Lees and the Brian Keenes and the Rath James Whites of the world, you know, they got scooped up immediately.
Well,
you
not
know what I
Keene.
mean?
Keene was so gun shy. He didn't go back with another publisher until Berkeley, and that was probably 4 years ago.
Well, he did go through Deadite for a while.
Yeah, but they weren't a big publisher. They're still a small press.
Oh, yeah. I mean, I was just saying. I was saying in general, at least that the big guys, the kind of core of extreme horror, they were fine. You know, the younger authors and the less known names that were on Leisure got fucking jammed.
Yeah.
They got screwed, dude. Yep. They didn't see a fucking dime after that.
Well, Gonzalez got really screwed.
Yeah, he did.
It was the second time it happened to him in less than 20 years, because before that was when, you know, Bantam and the other ones just stopped making horror books. Just got rid of them.
Yeah.
Because I got all my Splatterpunks were all on that Bantam Spectra label.
Mm-hmm.
If you remember that.
Yep.
And wasn't there a Zebra label?
Zebra, another one. Yep. Zebra was more the 80s going into the 90s, and they went away about the same time Bantam did.
Yeah, I mean, it's a lot of it's really, really, really unfortunate, and I mean, whenever because I remember that happening like it was yesterday, right? It wasn't that fucking long ago.
Huh?
I remember reading all about it, like on the HWA message boards and stuff when I was pretty unfamiliar with the situation, and you know, people were just going nuts talking about it. So, you know, in the long run, I don't want to tell anyone to, you know, go away from their publishers or, you know, totally go out on your own and self-publish. Even though it is a good time to self-publish, because with stuff popping up like promotional engines and things like Godless and the like, it gives you an opportunity to really completely own your IP. But I mean, like I said before, these small publishers, these indie publishers, they're just like self-pub authors, right? Yeah. You know, they scrounge and they work their asses off. I mean, I can tell you because I'm really good friends with my publisher, which is Bloodbound, and I can tell you, he's awesome. You know, he does a shitload for the horror industry. And, you know, I don't think I would have been able to launch Godless without all his help. And it just really kind of, you know, changed my perspective on things. And Mark's always been there for me, you know. I deliver books so fucking infrequently that any other publisher would tell me to go fuck myself.
Right.
You know, but Mark deals with me.
Well, I think something needs to be said about Mark and Book Books as a whole. Getting into bed with you and legitimizing you, I think. Because a lot of the extreme horror writers go through them or listen to them. And again, you've only put a few books out, so nobody knows Drew Stepek from Adam.
Yeah.
And having, Mark and Joe there, and I love Mark and Joe, especially Joe. I am more acquainted with him than I am with Mark. Back you up helps. It helps a lot. And
oh, absolutely.
Now Now we've got this other platform for people to get our product from now, and so thank you, man.
I appreciate it, Tommy. Yeah, I was bugging you for pretty much all of February, man.
Well, again, I didn't know what to do. I was like, I'm kind of hesitant. There's Nicholas Peshons out in the world, and I know Drew's not one of them, but should I or shouldn't I get involved? Oh, these motherfuckers are involved. Okay, I'm going to do it. And that was when, quite honestly, was when Mark got all his people in there.
Yeah, and absolutely 100%. You don't know how much I am thankful that Mark and Joe are my boys. The fact that Faden
works long hours.
Shooting heroin.
Hi, Dan.
Dan!
Hey, Dan, you can go to bed.
Dan, go to bed.
Sorry, guys.
Okay.
Good night, brother.
We love you.
I love you guys.
Bye.
Good night.
I blame the last bowl.
No, Dan's an essential worker, and he works in a place that has PPE.
Yeah, he works hard. He works hard. He works crazy hours. We love him.
He works overtime every day.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, he's a factory guy, blue collar guy, man, just like all of us here.
I'm sitting there going, just dying.
I was on the Godless website. I was looking at the roster, and I'm like, oh, we know him, we know her, we know him, we know her.
We interviewed those people and those people and those people.
That person, CV Hunt, and all these other people. I'm like, yeah.
Well,
Hey,
actually, Drew, you've convinced me. I think I'm going to send something your way.
Please do, dude. I want as much as I can get. A lot of, just so you know, Scott, a lot of the authors and publishers, I just kind of like proactively put their stuff up, hoping that that they were gonna climb on board once they saw everything in action. And that's been pretty effective. But I wanted at launch to have an offering where people could see the names of the people they recognized, and then kind of see on the bestseller wall these people who are relatively unknown and say, wow, who's this Simon McCarty guy, and why is everyone all over this fucking guy? And that's he is that dude, man. No one created more buzz last year and the beginning of this year than that guy with Mother Maggot. And he has just created such an amazing following for himself, and he's never out boasting or pushing his own shit a whole lot, right?
Right.
It happened very organically for him. And I appreciate the fact that he came to me and he's just like, dude, I want to drop exclusives with you. Totally. He and Daniel Volpe were like the two kind of like guys out front who are like, dude, we want to be a part of this. Same thing with Sweeney.
Did you help Daniel get that new cover?
I did that cover for him.
You did? Thank you.
Oh, fantastic.
A round of applause for Drew.
Job.
Wow.
Yeah, I like I mean, I don't want to talk about this because I don't want everyone to think that I'm going to fucking lay their books out and shit for them. But Daniel sent me the Awakening Blood cover, and I'm like, would you mind if I took a pass at this, dude? That font is fucking wonky as fuck, and it needs to pop. So I took a pass at it. He really liked it, and that made me happy. And, because he gives me exclusives, and he was the very, very, very first person to climb on board, I lay out his books in InDesign, and I format them and shit. Because, I want people to know that this is a platform where they can come and they can get help. You know, it's a lot of these people without the kind of guidance that they've got through Amazon, right? They just don't know what the fuck to do. Like when people say, I say, can you send me the files for your book so I can get them live on? They're like, I don't know, have any idea how to do any of that shit. Amazon does that for me. So I'm like, all right, man, I'll help you to the best of my ability. I don't have a fuckload of time. Tommy, I still owe you fucking files. I get that. I've been just swamped, and I apologize because I want fucking Bella's Boys direct on the fucking site. So
I format all my stuff, so my stuff is sent to you formatted already, brother.
Bella's Boys is offensive.
Oh yes, it is.
somebody fucking send it back to Audible.
I'm never coming here again. Reading
How do you send back an Audible book?
Writing tentacle porn like that, you ought to be fired.
Yeah, I mean, so it's just like I want Godless to be a place that's not only like a distribution and consumer facing. I wanted it to be a community. I wanted it to be a family. That's why I have these services on there that almost no one's fucking taking advantage of. Tommy, send me your fucking book cover layout company information so I can post it in the services, dude. Rooster Republic is going to fucking suck up all that business.
All right.
You know?
I'll get it over to you.
Yeah.
We just talked about it this afternoon, so I'll get it over to you.
I like that you got a Batman shirt on. I went the Canadian route.
Eh? We can't see you. You got your camera off.
You can't see
you. Fuck,
Yeah.
Let me put it on.
Does he got a Rush shirt on?
Probably.
Yeah. Is it on right now?
No, it's just your logo.
Yeah.
Let me see.
And now
technical difficulties by a technical person.
Yeah.
Don't worry, folks. This is audio. This is radio, not television, so it's okay.
Yeah.
That's really weird.
And remember, Drew has a face for radio and a voice for print.
Match.
Yeah. Yeah. You know what? When I'm thinking of, I've been doing a lot of these podcasts to really promote Godless, and I always think about that scene in Slapshot when frickin' Newman's on the radio show. He's like,
yeah.
Why don't you come on down and check out the Chiefs? We got a whole new attitude.
Listen to fucking song. I think everyone could learn from a legend like Reggie Dunlop.
You know I'm in the town that was filmed in, right?
One of the many
Right,
towns.
really?
It's shot in several parts.
Yeah.
It
It took place in Syracuse, New York. It was
also
filmed
shot in
inside of our. Hold on, Walter. It was filmed inside of our war memorial, but because the movie directors didn't feel that outside of it didn't look like Syracuse, they filmed the exteriors in Utica because it looked more like Syracuse to them. Bastards.
Yeah.
Goddamn 70s directors.
And parts of it were shot in Binghamton as well.
Yes.
Am I on now?
Yes.
No.
We hear you. We still can't see it.
What the fuck, man?
Hit the camera button.
No, I switched my FaceTime camera. I had it in OBS.
Oh, old bullshit. Yeah. I'm done with that.
No, it's
There
you
you
go.
There we go.
Now we see you.
Alpha Fly.
Yes.
Fuck yes.
I knew what would
Sasquatch.
happen.
There we go.
You know what's funny? One of my nicknames in high school was Puck because they thought I looked like Puck.
Puck was there, like Canadian, even though Wolverine is Canadian. They wanted him to be like the franchise Wolverine character.
Yeah.
I subscribed to Alpha Flight before it came out. And so, like, remember when Marvel used to send their comics through the mail? You could subscribe to them monthly.
Yep.
And I waited for that motherfucker forever and ever and ever. And then it finally came, and I'm like, man, this kind of blows, dude.
I just want to tell our audience right now, I can't take my eyes off of Drew's t-shirt nipples.
You like those?
The hanger nipples. Let me rephrase that. The t-shirt hanger nipples.
Actually, shit. Tommy and Skip could cosplay as Puck and Sasquatch.
Well, I am a hairy motherfucker.
I'm way hairier than you, dude.
Wait till I get I'm getting the rings.
No, my hair is right here.
Mm-hmm.
See, look, my hair is only on my head.
Yes.
Damn, you're lucky.
Scott
bad
and I are the two hair bags in this group.
Oh yeah.
No,
I'll show you my back in a minute.
If we had Scarsdale in here, it'd be game over for all of us.
Oh, Scott, I would
Unless
shave
we
your
show-
back in a minute.
Scott,
I used to
Unless
shave
it
my
was
back
showtime, then he
before
would
going
shave
to
it.
public
That's right, he did.
schools.
That's why I
Scott-
wrestle with the shirt on.
Scott, get the back blade, dude. That thing is fucking awesome. I've got one in my shower. So in summer
Really?
I can go fucking sleeves optional and shit. I fucking it just rips the hair right off, dude. The
Back blade?
back blade, dude.
Back
It's
blade.
fucking awesome. It's like this gigantic.
If it cuts me, does Ariok get my soul? Sorry.
Anyway,
That was a Michael
was a hair
Moorcock
removal-
joke.
There was a hair removal system back in the early 90s that was a
Nads.
giant
Nads.
spring that would rip the hair out of the women's legs.
We're too young
It
for
was
this, Scott.
Yeah, right.
So
Yeah.
I think that would be a great torture device. I don't remember what the name of it was, but my wife bought one for like $80.
All I know
She
is
used
that
it once and threw it in the trash can, and that's what all of you S&M people need to use.
I can
You
probably braid the hair on my back. So
I went and got a like laser hair removal when it was like first like came out and shit in like the late 90s, early 2000s. And that hurt like fuck. And they're like, you got to come in for your second treatment. I'm like, fuck that, dude.
Well,
I'll be a fucking hairy Pollock, dude. I don't care.
Oh, we had
Fuck
another
yes.
Pollock. We had another Pollock
Yeah,
here.
go Polacks.
Christ. You look like cavalrymen.
Yes.
We will fight on the land, the sea, and the air.
On
We will
horseback.
win World War I for the
horseback.
fucking British.
Yes.
On horseback.
So anyway,
You don't know. You guys don't know. There were Polish pilots in World War I that got defeated in Poland, defeated in France, and they
You know
went
how
to
you guys are like
war.
King Kong versus Godzilla, monkey versus radioactive dinosaur. Yeah. Cavalry versus tanks.
does King Kong Godzilla come out tonight at midnight?
Well, as
Yes.
we're recording this, yes.
Yes.
Midnight your time.
Midnight my time?
Yeah,
Yeah,
which means the rest of
I-
us in the free world have to wait up until 3 a.m.
Yeah, HBO.
No, that's not true, dude. I'm West Coast. I'm LA.
Yeah. I'm East Coast.
Oh, so it's
You're
midnight
East
my
Coast.
time. Got it.
Midnight your time, 3 a.m. us. Yeah.
Yeah, I'm gonna wait. I'm gonna wait till this weekend because I don't want to. I want to watch it on my projector. I got like a projector over the summer because I built like a movie theater in my backyard because I wasn't going anywhere. Right?
That is so West Coast.
Yeah.
Yeah, by the time this show airs, the movie will be a month old.
I'll be watching it tomorrow after my second COVID shot.
I'm going.
Oh,
I'm-
I get my first Friday.
I get mine first Saturday.
My wife got hers first today.
Yeah, she walked out of that
I
like she
wasn't
was.
able to register yet. I got to wait another few days.
Well, they
She
opened
walked
it-
out the
What?
she walked away. The
Scott.
building exploded.
Scott, that's because you're a bass player.
That's right. Exactly.
Is it a Vermont thing?
Back of the bus.
Yeah, it is. It is. If you're 50 and over,
Back
you
in the
can
bus
sign
for the
up,
bass
but
players.
40 pluses, we got to wait another week.
Yeah, it's like Cuomo in one day: legalize weed and make everybody get a shot.
Yep.
I need money in the coffers.
They have trains in New York, right? I'm moving to New York just for the weed.
Where do you guys have legal weed where you're from?
Now in New York we do.
Doing my state and
It's
there.
good.
Yep.
It's gonna happen. 2022, I think, is when it's official.
No, it happened today, Walter. It's
official?
Oh,
legal
yeah.
now.
Oh well, I don't keep track of this shit. So I just
Not in Virginia yet.
Yeah,
Wow.
it's been out here. It's such a trip, like going into like a fucking weed store, because it's been legal here for a while, and when you go in there, you're like, man, this is totally different from my college experience, 100 fucking %, and it's just really fucking wild. But
Well,
different times.
I'll tell you, Drew. I'm taking vacation in a few days. I'm going up to see my mom, and she lives in a state that has legal weed.
From Michigan.
Yes.
I'm from Michigan too.
Well, I'm from Wisconsin. My mom lives in Ipsy. I have sister in Chelsea. They retired from the U of M. But yeah,
These
I'm
town names
really,
up in
really,
Michigan are fucked up.
I'm really, really excited about my trip.
Sell
Dude,
some gummies, dude. At the
My mom got to
dispensary.
go.
It's like
you're-
you came. Go ahead.
It's such a mind-blowing experience, right? It's like, because if you think about when we were coming up, when we were younger, it's like, you'd get your fucking quarter sack of weed and shit like that, and you had to buy it from some fucking shady fucker and etc. Now you
Like these guys here.
I remember when a nickel was $5 and a lid was 3 joints.
Yep. And then now you just go into these stores and it's like, here's everything, and it's just like awesome.
We're gonna tax the hell out of it, but it's good.
Yeah, Tommy Clark and Matt Smith in their college dorm in Glens Falls is two shady, long-haired hippies.
Yes.
Hippies.
And I happened to sell weed at the time.
You want shady? Driving 23 miles to pick up a dime bag from some guy in a fucking storage unit.
Yeah,
I don't doubt that.
I hope that was good shit.
I know we're talking about this here, and it is drug use, but Drew, your books, your Knuckle Supper book, especially, it all comes from your experience with people with heroin.
Yeah, I've done everything. I don't know if I am proud of it or not. I mean, I've dosed like 200 times. I've done heroin. I never shot, thankfully.
Right.
I've done meth, which is the grossest.
Nothing for you to be ashamed of. First off,
I saw you sitting here today, brother. You're sitting here today.
I fucking loved cocaine like way too much. It was just,
Coke's pretty
You
bad.
didn't. You
love the smell
hated
of it.
cocaine. You love the smell of it.
Yep.
I love the smell of it. Yeah.
Oh my God, cocaine was amazing. I'm not gonna lie.
Oh, dude, it was the greatest thing ever. And I want to convey that in my books, and I don't think I'm very flattering towards drugs, but I think this, Tommy, because we've spoken about it before. Everything that I write's got this element of abuse in it, whether it's like sexual abuse, physical abuse, drug abuse, or anything like that. So anything I write kind of has to revolve around that. I think that's why I really latched on to Children of the Night and started kind of trying to do things for them. They're a nonprofit, if you guys don't know, that gets teen prostitutes and stops child exploitation and human trafficking and shit. And I just really got into that because I felt that I needed to give back, and I needed to give a part of myself to that because it seemed important, because my books revolve around this. It's important for me to actually participate in helping these things and get them through kind of like this fucked up world we live in, dude, where, people rape fucking kids and shit, dude.
Yeah.
Anyway, not to change topics, but I did have a bone to pick really quick with my boy Tommy Clark.
Oh God, here we go.
A couple of days ago.
Tommy's an asshole. We all know that.
A couple of days ago, you were posting all your fucking Ghost is the greatest band of all time.
Oh, for God's sakes, here we go.
And you said the band that you hate the most is fucking AC/DC, dude. Are you crazy?
I know.
Are you fucking crazy?
Okay.
Ghost would slap you in the face for saying that.
Malcolm Young is going to dig himself up
AC/DC's
from the
place
grave
in
and rip your whore mouth out.
I respect
The corpse of Malcolm Young is going to crawl up behind Tommy and rip his.
No, he's not. He's going to play the same 3 chords over and over again.
Dude, Malcolm Young was the fucking anchor of that band. Angus might as well be fucking David Lee Roth, dude. Malcolm Young wrote that shit, and those awesome chord progressions that fucking make you emote like they do for a reason was because of Malcolm fucking Young, dude. I haven't listened to their new shit album, but I'm sure it's really Angus-y, and I'm sure it's really kind of crummy and lame and tin sounding. Whereas Malcolm added this huge depth to the band, and a lot of people don't really look at it ever as at a rhythm guitarist as someone who could really kind of push this music through, but if you listen to a song like Who Made Who, and you really kind of pay attention to what Malcolm's doing there, and that's definitely not one of their best songs. I'm just using it as an example.
Oh, it's from a great movie, 17.
Yeah.
17% of the people in the world like that movie.
I'm going to give it to Drew because my introduction was with the Bon Scott era. And Bon Scott's vocals were amazing. Yeah. And then I ended up with Brian Johnson, and that was my second album. Was the Black album, and I was. This is different. However, the music still holds together.
That was because of Malcolm.
That was because of Malcolm, exactly, which is where I was going. And
lyrics
Malcolm was the
suck
try.
after Bon Scott dies.
Malcolm Young is a top 5 rhythm guitar player. Top 5.
Malcolm Young is
Absolutely.
the Steve Harris of AC/DC.
Yes.
Period.
Absolutely, 100%.
All right, now we're really getting Tom upset. Now
This
Tom's
is
getting
my
upset.
problem.
I was getting hot.
Brian fucking Johnson's voice.
I think it's fucking rad.
It's gritty. What do you want?
It's not Bon Scott, but fuck, it's
what do you want?
Chalkboard.
It's gritty. It matches up with the tone of the music.
No.
What do you want? Bruce
I don't
Dickinson?
like Udo Dixslopper either.
There's only one Bruce Dickinson. Period. All right.
I agree with that.
Only one. And I don't care what you say about Judas Priest. Iron Maiden will always be better with Dickinson.
Oh,
Iron Maiden's
absolutely.
the greatest band of all time. Why you? Thank you, Father Skip, for preaching to the choir.
Damn right. Damn right. Now give me a hallelujah.
Glad you agree. I'm glad you agree with me. Tommy,
The sky is blue during the day.
The only
At
reason
night it's blackout.
only reason I took issue with that is because they should never have made your most unfavorite band on any list ever. They are fucking rad, dude. Even some of their newer shit.
You could have picked Starland Vocal Band for Christ's sake.
Yeah.
I like Starland Vocal Band.
Skip's getting passionate. He's knocking the camera.
Austin. You could have picked Chicago. There's so many other bands to pick.
Yeah. AC/DC was
There's
a
only
bad
one
pick.
band that I hate equally, and that's Led Zeppelin.
I don't like Zeppelin either.
All right, yeah, fuck Zeppelin. We can all agree on Zeppelin.
Fuck them, we know.
I love the live stuff.
I love AC/DC songs when somebody else does them.
Oh, for Christ's sake, stop.
That's ridiculous.
Stop.
Motorhead does fantastic AC/DC covers.
So let
Motorhead does
Dropkick Murphys
everything
does.
great.
what you're saying is you love Hasty
fantastic
Dixie.
AC/DC covers.
You love Hasty Dixie. That's what you love.
AC Dixie.
My friend Mikey, Scott, you know Mikey. My friend Mikey, actually Tom knows Mikey. Mikey told me that Stone Sour's cover of Love Gun is better than Kisses. And I said, brother, stop being a keyboard warrior right now, because
Paul Stanley rules
It's
on
a
Love Gun.
respectable cover.
it is a good cover, but it's not better than the
But
original.
Motorhead does. You got a long way to the top. You want to rock and roll.
I just said Motorhead does everything great. So.
Motor does everything better. Motorhead is God. Well, Lemmy is God. Motorhead is the left and the right.
Yeah, but I was saying, you know what happened? The one thing you don't do is upset me about Paul Stanley. That's my thing.
Oh, you said the name, dude. Does that mean he's going to show up?
Did you get the new?
Is he
album?
going to promote his? Is he going to promote his new album? Yeah.
Oh, hello, Skip. Skip, do you like Philadelphia Soul?
I love Philadelphia Soul, Paul. Paul's here.
Well, then you're gonna like my new soul record.
Is your soul record as good as your suit?
It's even better. It's tasty.
Oh, I love Tasty, Paul. I love Tasty.
Oh,
It was always so awesome in LA to go to the Rainbow Room and always see Lemmy there. You know, it was such a fucking trip. It was like one of these like mind-bending experiences to me because he was there all the time. And then he would always be playing like Ms. Pac-Man and track and field on the tabletops. And you know, you just go there and you'd like be like, fucking hey, that's fucking Lemmy, dude. And like no, he's totally approachable. No one's fucking with him. He's just the guy there, right? You know?
What gets me about Lemmy is when they did that documentary of Lemmy, and they show his apartment. They show him in the Rainbow. They show just fans showing up, and he's like, "Hey, what can I do for you?" Signing the autographs. People buying him Jack and Cokes.
Oh, dude, he did that. So he would sit down at like the video game, whether whatever it was. People would just be coming over there and giving him drinks. I don't think he ever had to buy a drink at the Rainbow Room.
Probably
you
not.
know? Whereas
Some of them for video games.
Scotty and Anthrax said that they would just like go to the Rainbow Room just to watch Lemmy, just sit there.
It was such a trip. It was so awesome. You're just like, that's fucking Lemmy.
Mm-hmm.
You know,
like pinball and video games there too.
Yeah,
that's all he did. Yeah, he played the tabletop poker on the bar.
Yeah.
And he played the track and field tabletop cocktail edition, and they had a Miss Pac-Man in there too. You know.
Amazing.
And I'm
Lemmy
jealous
loves
of you,
video
Drew, that you actually went to the Rainbow and met
Me
Lemmy.
too. Me too. To see
very
Lemmy.
nice, man.
You know,
Fuck
we used to go there. We used to go there all the time, and it was mainly to see Lemmy. But like, it was kind of weird. Like, let's say in the mid 2000s, like it kind of became overrun with like people who weren't at like Lemmy level. You know what I mean?
Oh,
Like it's like Be Real would be there a lot. Who I think is pretty cool. I like Be Real, so I don't want to fucking joke him. But I'm trying to think of what Janie Lane was there a lot.
Mhm.
And fuck, who else? And you would always see the same people. And I think if these guys were chilling there because they know it was fucking Lemmy's home, right? They're like, maybe people will fucking remember my music if I go hang out there. You know, it's like you weren't fucking Motorhead, dude. So
You're
don't
not
bother.
Lemmy.
Yeah.
There'll never be another Motorhead. So.
No, there won't
No.
No.
But
I mean,
anyway.
I appreciate the classic trilogy of the trio of Motorhead with Fast Eddie, Filthy, and Lemmy, and I also love the Mach 3 version, I guess you want to call it technically, because I don't really count the Pete Gill and Robo era when it came to Lemmy, Phil, and Mickey D. So I mean, those two right there.
Lemmy, Phil,
One
and
of the
Mickey
most
D
influential
was
trios of all time, and
perfect.
one of the most consistent trios of all time.
Yeah, you know what's weird is I was like really into punk rock coming up, and I really didn't get any exposure to Motorhead. But it's when I fell in love with them until I saw them on the Young Ones.
Let me. I'm gonna put this out for you, man. There's a record store here in Virginia. If you're ever on the East Coast, look me up. I'll take you to the place. The guy who owns it, his name is Steve, but everyone calls him Skinny. Biggest punk rock guy you'll ever meet. Biggest musicologist. I would put him up against Walter.
So, Skip.
So you need to come here and you need to go to this store. He's got the largest selection of punk albums, vinyl albums you could ever wish for.
I expect Skinny to pay $20 to sponsor our podcast next month. Just saying.
I'll message. I'll message him. I'm actually going there Saturday. Okay. I'll be there Saturday. I'm looking to pick up Seventh Son, and there's a Misfits album that he's got. It's a European edition that I'm looking at picking up.
What do you want me and Skinny to do?
Dude, I want you to battle your musicology.
Music knowledge.
Your music knowledge. You're walking.
I know a thing or two about a thing or two, but there are people that know a lot more than me. Martin Popoff.
Farmers.
I'm going to tell you this. I met Skinny at the Boathouse in Norfolk, Virginia, 30 years ago, right before he opened up his record store, and we attended almost all of the same concerts.
Oh, good.
Either at the Boathouse or at the Hampton Coliseum or at the Norfolk Scope. We were there, and he was always in the pit.
I've gone to a lot of concerts and been in the pit too. I'm sure Drew has as well. Scott and Walter too.
Yes, but do you have the records and who produced what and who played on what track in what studio?
Holy shit, he's like a guy that knows baseball trivia, but it's music instead.
He is the autism of music.
The autism of music. The fuck kind of bad Rain Man joke was that?
Skip, I went to high school and my parents lived in Maryland when I went to college, so I'm pretty familiar with that area. So I go back there every once in a while. I bet you the guy's friends with Ian McKay, right?
Yes.
Fugazi.
Yep. Just doing that bass line earlier. Fucking waiting room's like my favorite bass line ever.
Not just that. I will say this. David Brocky used to go to the store.
Oh, really?
Yep.
Yeah.
He's on the Godless website. I saw his name listed there.
Well, David Brocky and I shared pages, but yes, his estate, I think, picked up with your guys because he is no longer with us.
I just got a hell odorous T-shirt today, as a matter of fact.
Speaking of Brocky, I have to show my son. I have to show my son the Warhorse review. You guys, my son's reading Warhorse.
Yes, show him the review.
I'm gonna show him the review. He'll base his review. He'll base his report off that review.
You can't read it; it's a video.
Oh.
Well, it's one at the end where Odorous goes, "It sucked.
It sucks."
I love animals. I love to fuck animals, but I love animals.
I love animals. They're so soft and squishy.
And here we go, the extreme horror again.
Fucking an animal.
You know what? I think the indie horror scene's got that same feel that Guar has. I really do.
Yeah.
Met them too. Poor David Brockie.
Oh yeah.
Yes.
I when I worked for Film Threat, the Film Threat was doing this music thing, and it was run by Dominic, who was in the second season of The Real World, Dominic Griffin.
Oh yeah, the Irish guy.
Yeah,
Irish,
super awesome guy. So he would hook me up with these interviews with all these dudes that I fucking loved, right? He'd reach out to him and he'd make it happen. I get to go interview him backstage at the concert. And so I met Brockie and I showed up for the interview and I was just fucking pissed drunk, dude, because I was so excited about getting to meet Guar in person with their masks off. So they were super cool guys. You know, it's like never like one of those moments you'll never forget, you know, because I was so into Guar. The first time I saw Guar, you know, I didn't know a lot about him. It was probably in, I'm going to say 92. And I decided that I was going to do PCP before I went to the show. And
Good choice.
Oh, that's a hell of an idea.
And then, dude,
it's a choice. It's not a good choice. It's a choice.
I had no idea what the fuck I was in for.
Really?
Right? I mean, dude, I was familiar. Oh, they wear masks and shit. And then dinosaurs started coming out, and they fucking chopped. Like, yeah. And then I fell in love with Guar, like forever.
So, correct me if I'm wrong, PCP is what they give to tigers at a zoo so they don't eat you.
No. PCP is what they give to kids in the 70s to make them jump off of high school roofs.
It's the stuff they nailed. It's stuff they nailed Dan Aykroyd at the beginning of Trading Places with.
Yeah. Oh, so funny, dude.
What's the allure of the high from that? What was it that made
PCP?
Yeah.
Dude, the visual on it was like acid times a fucking million, dude. After the show, my brain was so fucking twisted up, right, that I was seeing like arms on fucking hands, all this shit. That's why I wrote that scene at the beginning of the Knuckle Supper sequel where he gets wet, which means he did PCP, and he just is like getting so much vision, he's just got no fucking idea what's going on, dude. You know? Wow. So it was just the weirdest experience. I've only done it twice. It's just a shitty drug. It's just
how long did it take you to normalize after that show?
Oh, dude. I mean, I was having like all sorts of like weird moments and like, you know, faded stuff going on in my head and shit. It took a couple of days, longer than usual. Like it definitely took longer than with doing like a, you know, a dose of acid.
Yeah.
Honestly,
Drew,
get
to see Guar sober, or at least a better.
I did a ton of times.
Okay. I was gonna say, honestly, Drew, I'm sure seeing Guar sober, the visuals were probably not that much different.
They always were.
No, but it was always so awesome, dude. There was nothing better than getting in the pit at a Guar show and just getting drenched in fucking blood, dude.
Right up front. I still got the T-shirt from my first show.
It was just.
Have you watched it?
Never.
And then, dude, I think it's kind of a shame that they are continuing without Brockie, you know, because I mean, he was kind of the center of it all, right? Except
he was the Malcolm Young.
Yeah. Also, the guy who plays Sleazy P. Martini, even though he was never really a musician in the band, he added a shitload to it, right? Yeah. But, you know, it's just like I see Guar post like all this stuff. Like I'll get like boosted posts on Facebook and stuff, and I'm kind of like, man, do I want to go check it out again? Like if they came in concerts again, if we ever have concerts again, I'd probably like to go see Guar again, right? Because it's just like
I just saw them like 4 years ago. And it was after Brockie died, and Mike Bishop came back. He took over the front man role as Blothar, and it was still a fun show. And they still show a ton of respect, and you know the whole show is dedicated to Brockie, to Odorous, and they have a hologram of him on stage.
Oh, they do?
So it's full acknowledgement of him and everything else. Like, Odorous, where are you, Odorous? And he shows up on the hologram right there. I am competing in the galaxy now. Just doing, you know, it's just
so like
voice. So
as far as like the lore of Guar, he's still alive, but he's still alive. Not,
right.
Okay.
He's just
transcended.
He's transcended now, so yeah, it's almost like freaking.
He took a Scientology step.
Exactly, it's all on. So that's what it's become. So they keep that lore apart. And that kind of keeps you connected to it. It's still a fun show. I was in the back of the building when I got to the place. I was like, I don't need to go up front. I paid my dues. I don't need to go there. And as the show is going on, I'm getting closer and closer and closer to the stage. I'm like, what am I doing? And I'm like 40 years old. I shouldn't be doing this now. Fuck it. I was right up front there. Had one kid right in front of me for blocking. You know how you do it.
Yeah.
And it's like, it's like, what are you doing? Nothing. It's fine. Stay there.
Yeah, he was the baby from the Dead Zone, right?
Yeah, you got the human shield.
Hail odorous.
Oh, Drew
Well,
Stepek.
Odorous forever.
I've taken up way too much of your time. I appreciate it. Can I do one more shout?
Yes.
Yeah.
Authors and publishers, man, if you guys are kind of sick of playing this game and not getting the royalties you think you deserve, and you're fucking losing your shirt because Amazon's taking all your money, come check Godless out, man. I can't promise you the world. This is a new thing. This is kind of something that people don't expect, and it's unknown territory, and you're not going to become a millionaire overnight or anything like that. But come to the platform, check it out, and then if you want to, join the family, because we are welcome to everyone. And Skip, I hope to see your shit.
Free to join.
Tommy, everyone, man, join us.
Yes.
You know, so
Well, the story I'm thinking about sending you is not over the top, but it is a little gory.
we don't necessarily need over the top, man. Seriously. You know, there's a bunch of Crystal Lake titles that I have up on the site that aren't necessarily extreme or hardcore horror, and you know, I like having them there because I think that Joe's a really, really, really good guy, and I think Crystal Lake has got a really, really, really good name right now.
Yep.
Yes, they do.
And I appreciate everything that he's doing for me, really taking a chance on me, you know, not knowing me except through an introduction that essentially, you know, Mark made for me.
Right.
So I just, everyone who wants to get involved, sell your short stories, price them wherever you want, etc.
We got your back. We got your back, Drew.
Thanks, Tommy. I know you do, brother. Thanks, Tommy. Thanks, Skip. Later, guys.
All right. Be good, man.
Bye,
Take care.
Bye, Drew.
The Necrocasticon is written and produced by Thomas R. Clarke, Scott Groverston, Walter Ball, Daniel Roberts, and Skip Novak. All content copyright 2021. Music by Daniel Edenfield, used with permission.
Promotional consideration paid for by the following.
It's March 1993, and a storm is coming.
Her face was a porcelain mask encircled by an obsidian cowl of long hair with radiant emerald eyes and ruby lips.
Bella's Boys, the new book from Thomas R. Clarke.
Sing to me, lover.
If the sun refused to shine,
Bella's Boys, available now.
I would still be loving
The new book from Thomas R. Clarke.
Everyone comes for Bella.
What evil lurks in the heart of Don Mondo? Only Chucky the Buddha, the enforcer of the Mondo Mafia, knows. Join them each week on the Mondo Method podcast, as Chuck tries to get Don Mondo to reveal what is best in life, and where he hid the bodies. Oh, they also talk about writing, and being professional authors. The Mondo Method podcast, with Armand Rosamilia, and Chuck Buddha, weekly, wherever you find your podcasts.
Ronnie Dark is having a bad day. He hatches a desperate plan for revenge on his ex-wife. Ronnie intends to take his own life and leave his rotting, stinking corpse behind. Meanwhile, the home's former inhabitant, the infamous Balloon Boy Killer, has escaped from the institution holding him. He has one goal: to finish what he started 35 years ago and resurrect his ancient dark deity, the Death List. Ronnie Dark's bad day is going to get worse before it gets any better, and he's about to learn suicide is pointless when you're facing the avatar of a death god.
The Death List. Written by Thomas R. Clarke.
This has been a presentation of the Project Entertainment Network.